Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. And it is that time again. If you're joining me here for the first time, this is my game that I cover. I cover American football on the channel. It's my favorite sport ever, and we only have one company that makes the game, and that is EA. And so it's that time again, Madden. This time, Madden 24, and we have just been given information, and I'm sure you guys have already heard about it. If you haven't, we're gonna chill here, and I'm gonna talk about what I like, if there is anything, and we're gonna watch the trailer together, and we're also going to talk about what we're not, what we're gonna be missing, possibly what they've done wrong. Chances are. See this here. So right off the rip, is kind of seeing the same animations, things like that. I will say, obviously, the graphics look a tad bit, they look better. They do. The player models look better. Jerseys look better. Like always, every year, it's little improvements to graphics. But one thing I'll say, same player models, like the same engine. You can tell the same that we've been on this engine since 2019, Madden 19, which took out complete physics and went to complete animations. So nothing's popping out of me. The time I watched it, like we've seen that block, that pancake block, isn't nothing new. I don't even care what this guy's saying. I'm just gonna mute him. The rain looks kind of obviously this is not what it's gonna look like when you're playing at this animation. We've seen that twist when a quarterback gets blocked, that twist and fall. We've seen that since like 12, I think. Madden 12. A little bit of talking there, a little bit like disrespect. We've seen that over and over again. You kind of see just a lot of the same animations is the biggest thing I'm noticing. Obviously, they're trying to like blow you away with this Patrick Mahomes diving side throw. And my thing with this is, like, if you're focusing on animations, he's the only one that does this, okay? He's the only one that does it. He's done it a handful of times. Why is this animation made it into the game over other animations, like, I don't know, O-lineman helping push the pile? You know what I mean? Or just the animations that you would think would be in the game that you see almost every given Sunday. Not this special ability animation that only Patrick Mahomes does, kind of thing. And you count on one hand how many times he's done it. I'm pretty sure they've added minicamp back in. I was gonna wait to tell you guys that if you didn't know. They've added minicamp back into franchise, I do believe, it's like spring training, I think, or something like that, which was back in the PS2 days of Madden, which I am hyped that that's back in. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it was funny because they've done this for like the last like 5 years, where they show you just the last little bit of what they're gonna, like they're not talking about any of this. They're just gonna show you a couple images to try and get you hyped. Which again, pretty happy. But again, the player models look the same. You got a nice little stiff arm there, and then Josh Allen just destroying Queen in the. But yeah, so a lot of information on the screen. If you pre-order, you're gonna get 3 days early access. You're gonna get 4,600 Madden points. You're gonna get Josh Allen, elite player. If you care about Ultimate Team, that's gonna be cool for you. I'm not an Ultimate Team player. I have been thinking about possibly giving Ultimate Team a shot, like doing a no money spent for my channel for Ultimate Team, like trying to go to the Super Bowl, with no money. I don't know. We'll see. It's not really my forte or a thing that I enjoy, but maybe if the gameplay is right, I'll give it a shot. I don't know. Also, Madden 24 is cross-play, so that's another big thing that they're doing. Now we are on to the Hit Everything 2. That doesn't sound good, so they 2.0, right? Hit Everything, basically they're expanding on, I'm sure, the animations, right? Expands new contested catch tackle types that provide a more control and tackle variety on defense. That doesn't mean more control, it just means they've added animations, guys. That's literally all they've done. Tackle animations are selected more dynamically, which unlocks new and more fluid tackling interactions. All this means is, hey, We've added more animations, guys. Okay. Ball carrying AI and pathfinding. I hope this is right. I hope they're not lying to us again. This would be amazing to see the computer actually have a run game. And for the computer that I'm going against to have quarterback awareness, pocket awareness. I don't need to see quarterbacks, running into sacks that are not on their blind side. I mean, even the most top of the top quarterbacks even know their blind side and when it's collapsing. They know just when to cut it. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see. Blocking AI and open field targeting. These are all bullet points that we want. They're hitting on everything. DB awareness and pass coverage. Post-play emotion enhancements. I like every bullet point here. But are they actually going to do it? Has it actually been improved? One of the biggest things that is cool that we know for a fact they have is crossplay. But what kind of problems is that going to come in with? Server issues. We already know they are an issue. Is this going to make it worse? I don't know. The crossplay price, something is going to be holding this back. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. The return of the superstar. I don't really care. I'm not going to cover this. If you care about this, I'm sorry. I just don't care. Now we get to the bread and butter. My favorite thing about the game. And that's franchise mode. All right, so Madden 24 franchise. I'm actually happy I hate this for Ultimate Team players. You guys have no bullet points. Franchise finally getting the love it deserves. We actually have the most bullet points, it looks like. I mean, let's get it. But let's see, do they actually hit the money? Franchise mode. Blah, 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 blah. Lead your legacy. Be on the stage, superstar, powerhouse, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? It's just basically the same old thing. Franchise mode. First bullet point. I will say this. They used to say, play 30 seasons in franchise mode. Lead a team for 30 years or 35 seasons and dominate. They don't even say anything about that anymore because I think it's only 25 seasons now, and it's just not impressive when you got 2K. I think you can do 50 years in 2K or something like that. So like they just don't want to even talk about that anymore. So that's nowhere to be found. How many seasons can you really play? Well, I think it's only 25. Which we tend to never even get that far because the game is always trash. But imagine if the game was amazing. You would want to probably take it more than 25. I know I would. That's how much I love it. But we'll see. We'll see. First bullet point. Upgrade your team with fan favorite mini games. Returning to Madden 24. Mini games. So that was what we seen in the trailer. It's like training camp kind of thing where if you want to improve on your running back, you can do some running back mini game drills and things like that. Test your skills with dozens of new mini games, including moving obstacles and destructible targets in franchise training camp. So training camp is basically returned. Or weekly strategy, which we've had, right? That's nothing new, but this is new. This sounds cool and I really like it, but it does worry me, like, how is it going to be implemented? Is it going to be actually useful, or is it going to be broken to where, like, for instance, me personally, the coaching tree, I don't even touch it, a lot of it, because it's either pointless or it just it makes the game too easy. Things like, for my hardcore franchise players, you'll know what I mean about the coaching trees. It's just not very. It was added, it was cool, but it did when we heard about it. But then it was just like it's there, It doesn't really. It's there and it's done. Like it's not a big thing. They went about it all wrong, and I'm worried. Is this the case with this? Also, are players still getting XP and stuff? Like, has the XP leveling and stuff changed, or is it exactly the same, and now we just have an extra added way to level our players up? Because if that's the case, then that almost makes it seem too easy to upgrade your players. Like there's I don't know how it's going to work. I'm hoping that we have a little more insight on has this physically changed the ways we upgrade our players. Or is this just another added way to continuously upgrade them, making it ultimately easier to get them to a 99? Also, thank goodness though we have XP sliders, so we can adjust to what we prefer. So if it is too easy, we can adjust that and make it harder with XP sliders. So number 2, utilize a streamlined team relocation feature with new cities, logos, and uniforms to create your own franchise story. So after 10 years of complaining, I think the last time we had create a team was 2012. So I mean, it's been so long, so too many years to count. They finally heard us and have given us our create a team back. We can create the uniforms, create the name and the teams we will wait. We can't? No, we can't. We utilize a streamlined team relocation feature. So basically what they've done, it's I could be wrong, I don't have the game, but I'm just saying it sounds like what they've done is they've literally kept the same system that they have, where you look on the map of the United States and you select what city you want to go to, except for now there's new cities you select, and there's new teams with new uniforms and new logos. So basically they've just refreshed it. They haven't given you what we had in the PS2 days in Madden 12 or 10, whatever it was. I think it was Madden 10 the last time we could do this, where you can create literally everything from the ground up, like you can do in the show, like you can do in NBA 2K23 and all the other sports games available. No, you're still gonna have to select from a select group of teams that are pre-made. You cannot edit their uniforms, you cannot edit the logo, and you cannot edit the city. You got to pick whatever they have available. It's just now there's something new. It took them 10 plus years to get it, but they have new teams for you to pick. So if you like this kind of thing, you're gonna like it. I was thinking about possibly doing a franchise, when I heard about this being updated, but then I found out that I'm picking what they make. Now, what's the point? It's not going to be unique to anyone else's walkthroughs, because there's going to be somebody else using my same team. That's what makes this unique. You get to create your own franchise, but you don't. You got to use a fake EA's created team. And that, to me, I just don't like that. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are hyped for this, and you'll see some walkthroughs on YouTube using these new teams, but that's just not the case for me. I'm going to use my NFL teams that I know and love. And if I can one day create my own team, then maybe I'll give it a shot. But until then, it's just So number 3, and this is where we get to the good stuff. Build your future using the free agency 2.0 by reconstructing contracts and making counter offers to cornerstone playmakers. So this is very cool. So we can reconstruct contracts not just by physically going into the editor to do it, because technically you could do it and you're forcing it to happen. I think now we can physically talk to a player and say, hey, look, you look at Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, even here recently. They're willing, those two players, they could be the highest paid players in the world, because that's how good they are. But yet they're willing to take pay cuts or reconstruct their contracts to build a winning team. And so this is pretty cool in the fact that now it's in the game, and I could be able to talk to Patrick Mahomes and be like, hey, this is where we're at for the budget, these kind of things. Can we, let's reconstruct your contract. And for players, for the flip side, players that, aren't, you signed them 4 years or 3 years ago, and now the salary cap has changed. Players are getting more money, as we see in real life. The salary cap goes up each year. And so now you can reconstruct to give him what he deserves to be paid, because he's underpaid and now he's unhappy because he's seeing all these other players. And so you want to reconstruct because you do have money and you do want to keep him around and you want to keep that morale. And if you're a role player like I am, you'll probably do that. I don't personally like to cheat the system. I want it to be realistic. I want it to be hard. I want to have to really worry about my salary cap, which I have never had to do. Madden 23, I had to turn salary cap off because after 5 years it's broken. You have unlimited amount of money. I could sign whoever I want. And so I turned it off and had to create my own set of rules to kind of balance my team. So I hope that fixes it. I hope this new free agency with the new contracts, all of this, I hope it fixes all that. And it does sound good. As always, EA they sell it good, but is it really good? I don't know. We've yet to see that. We'll see. When Madden 24 comes out. The next bullet point is acquire and retain superstars using 50 new unique draft generators, new trade logic tuning, and 6 trade slots. New talent trees for coaches as well. I already touched on the coaches tree. You guys already know how I feel about this, so I'm not going to go into it. I just am not a fan of it or the way that they, did it. If it's fixed, cool. If not, you already know how I feel about it. I'm not going to go deep into that. The 6 trade slots. We've been asking for that forever, and they finally got it. That's a win. There's no way they could that up, right? There's no way. Unless we load up Madden 24 on launch day and there's like 5 slots, dog. Like, I will lose my shit. Like, there's no way they messed up that easy of an update. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, we already know their trade logic is completely broken, so there's no way that adding 3 more slots could have made it worse. You literally can't get worse than what their trade logic is. It's either, at this point, either you're a good person with a good heart and soul and actually play football realistically and just be your own supervisor, like watch yourself and make sure you're not cheating the other 31 teams, or you're evil and just take whatever trades they let you do. And if you're a person who plays Madden and just takes whatever trade that they give you, then I don't want to be your friend because you know their trade logic is broken. So at least finally they gave us this, I think their reasoning on why they didn't add it so much is because it could possibly break the trade logic in the game, and that was bullshit because, well, the trade logic isn't there at all. But they said new trade logic tuning. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't believe it. They've been saying that for years. One thing I am super excited about though is this: acquire and retain superstars using 50 new unique draft generators. So I personally think we hate on Madden a lot. One thing that EA has gotten better at is ever since Madden 21, they've been really working on the generated draft classes. Madden 23 has had some awesome draft generation. I'll admit it. I've that out of all the draft generated players, Madden 23 has had the best since the beginning of Madden, even beating PS2 Madden as far as generated players. And now they've added 50 new more unique players. That's a dub. I have a high feeling that this will be a dub on launch. It'll work. I hope I hope I'm not, Also, dev note, the mini games are also playable from the main menu and are a great way to have fun on the couch while learning how to master Madden 24. Yada, yada, yada. There you go. Here's the rest, by the way. And I want to cover one thing. The don't miss your limited offer. Oh, well, never mind. That's the launch. Here you go. Madden 24 launch worldwide is on August 18th, which means if you pre-order it, you can get it August 15th. But if you have EA Play, you can get the 1-hour trial, which is even earlier. I think it's a week earlier than that. So you could be playing this possibly the second week. It would be like the second week of August, or possibly even the end of the first week or something. You can play it very early in August, which is different than last year's. It was closer to the end of August. This time, if you get the pre-order and you get the EA Play and you do all of that stuff, you can be playing it early August. So that's pretty, if you're really tired of Madden 23, that's pretty cool, right? So we're at the end of it all. I just want to wrap this up on what I think. What I think is, I don't care about any of this if it doesn't work. The one thing I want to know, the one thing I need, is I need the damn game to work day one. Many players lost their franchises last year, and that was unacceptable. Many players are scared to play their franchise on offline because they'll lose their franchise file. That happened to me in Madden 21. And I heard on Reddit, I heard on Operation Sports that it happened in this one too. It was a little more rare. It didn't happen as much, but the chance of it is there. And I just have to ask myself, how can a offline save file get lost? Especially if you have backup saves. It wasn't that. It was just it was completely broken, completely wiped. You couldn't access it. So is it not truly offline completely? Like I don't know. How are these things happening? And for online franchise, the online franchises, you have a chance of losing that and then them telling you sorry, which happened in Madden 23. There was a lot of people who lost their franchises, and EA themselves even came out and said, hey, we're sorry, but you're not going to be able to get your franchises back. Sorry if you were 5 years deep, 8 years deep into your franchise. Start over. It's unacceptable. And that's what makes me so scared, because not in any of these that I read, any of these dev notes, have they talked about stability. That we promise to you, man to man, from our company to our customers, we promise a stable day one launch. You do not have to worry. Your franchises will not be lost. And yes, you can play an offline franchise or an online franchise, whichever you prefer, and not worry about losing your franchise. This right here, your experience in online and offline connected leagues should matter. You shouldn't lose, and you shouldn't have to worry about losing your progress on a game that you have spent $100 damn on, 70 at the least. Does it look like there's anything new that's going to say, dude, you got to have this game? No, there's not. Is it going to be stable? If it's stable, it's a dub for an update, which is what we're at this point. There's things I like about the franchise. There's things I'm worried about. Obviously, stability. For Ultimate Team fans, I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah, and for everyone else, I mean, gameplay isn't going to be, we're going to find out when we get our hands on. I don't really pay attention to any of the notes when it comes to gameplay. When I get the game, I'll know, kind of thing. So you can't take their word for that kind of stuff. And let's just cross our fingers. Let's hope that it's stable. If it's stable and there's no worry on that aspect, then we'll just take it, at that point. But you guys let me know what you think. What do you think about Madden NFL 24? Are you hyped? Or are you just like, eh? I don't know. You let me know. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.